Hello, and this is the After Hours Gaming League Season 2. I'm Day 9.
And I'm Rob Simpson.
And we are at match point between Palantir and Epic. And it looks like Tristan, a.k.a. Mantra, from Team Palantir was able to bring the series up to 1-2, but it looks like Crabtastic from Epic in the top left has a chance to close the series out.
And at the lower left corner of the map, playing as the Pink Terran, fighting for his team's life, we've got Shawnee Elite playing for Palantir.
Shawnee Elite does have a variety of... oh, look, good luck, have fun, free hat.
Who's going to pay for that? There is no such thing as a free hat.
Hats don't come for free. It's not just like, whoops, I accidentally planted this tree seed and got a hat tree out of it.
Tree hats are the latest innovation.
They absolutely are. That is true. Geneticists working very hard to try to figure out how to grow all mainstream consumer apparel via vegetation. We do see in the top left there has been no attempt to do any sort of six-pool shenaniganry. Looks like pretty standard play altogether.
You could really just skip straight past the money tree, right? Because really, you're going to buy things with the money, and if I could just grow the things I want to buy with the money,
yeah,
I can. It's easy.
That's true. We could make money obsolete by having product-specific trees.
Right. You actually just go to the store now, and it's similar to a nursery. All you do is buy trees.
All you do is buy tree seeds and soil. Extra special silicon-friendly soil if you wanted to, perhaps grow graphics card trees. We see Shawnee Elite. Looks like Engineering Bay starting to grow up at the natural expansion.
Planted his Engineering Bay seed. It was growing. Hasn't quite come to fruition, but it is going to delay that hatchery. Just kidding. We can see that Crabtastic, really good at that response, does plant down the spawning pool very quickly after seeing that Engineering Bay.
Shawnee Elite now getting himself the refinery up. It's going to be a little bit of a delayed refinery, so whatever gas-intensive plans he had, it's going to be placed behind just a teensy smidge. And oh, is he going back to build a little bit more? Oh, that would be so cool. I've always been tempted to build the Engineering Bay just barely blocking it, and then build a second Engineering Bay right there, and just be a big jerk.
Meanie. What a meanie.
Maybe bring like 4 SCVs and build like a giant quadrant farm of
many NG Bays.
Many NG Bay. Yes. It's a famous quote from Slayer's Boxer. Looks like Shawnee Elite, though, can't really afford to build 4 engineering bays. He's just barely able to start his orbital command. Now slightly keeping this SCV off-center, so that way when the Zerglings begin to attack, he can be able to walk into the main.
Mm-hmm. And over here, Crabtastic working on his queen, getting to about that 30-ish% mark. Getting a couple of those lings out there. They are going to be able to work on that Engineering Bay. And, of course, the big question is, are we going to see him cancel it in time? I would expect so. I don't know why else he would have put that much HP on it. But, oh, only 400 HP remaining. Is he going to do it?
Looks like he checks up at the top left.
Oh, we haven't seen him select.
Gotta be careful. Uh-oh, and there he cancels it. Excellently timed.
Got him.
Gaining that 94 minerals back, planting down the hatchery, and meanwhile in the main base it looks like Shawnee Lee is getting himself a reactor before factory. A little bit unorthodox if he wants to go for a double Hellion play, but he may very well begin just piling up Marines. I do know Marine tank pushes with Banshees very popular, as you can plant the tanks there, see up with the Banshees, and the Marines do all the work anyways.
That 1-1-1 it gets real nasty.
Ooh, wow, and speaking of nasty, it looks like he's decided to plant a Roach Warren down.
Gross!
Definitely wanting to deal with any sort of defense that he would need for this hatch. He can't plant down creep tumors, or spine crawlers, because he has no creep. He can't get enough creep spread to use his queens to defend, so he really is forced to get those roaches up if he wants to defend against these Hellions.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and there go. Oh, wow. So Reactor Hellions and Reactor Marines. He is now pumping double the units that he would if neither of those buildings had reactors.
Undoubtedly true. This means that he's actually probably going to go for an early attack, less than an early harass. Starport coming up right now. If he ended up getting some sort of medevac, he could easily just heal the Marines and push with the Hellions. And in fact, this little platform right here, transferring things over, can be a little bit of a threat, but it's transferring things right here that can be so dangerous.
Ooh, and getting right up into the main back there, that extra ledge just can be such a dangerous spot. And as we can see, there's no Overlord over there checking it out. So it could end up really biting him in the tuchus.
Crabtastic now continuing to add on more creep tumors, more roaches. He knows that that's going to be extremely important in defending that expansion. Ooh, nice response time right there by Crabtastic, spotting that attack coming in and pulling back immediately. Spinecrawler going down. I mean, Crabtastic can hardly get a leg up. He actually has 3 queens, not even mining gas. He's at 26 drones. He is ahead of his Terran opponent, but that is because the Terran opponent has been, well, he's been choosing Terran and doesn't have larva, so he can't frickin' build workers 10 at a time.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure that we might as well add another like evolution of the command center, so that maybe you can just add reactors to every building. I think I read a post by QXC the other day stating that buildings should be able to add 4 add-ons.
What are those 4 add-ons?
No, like 4 reactors. You can add 4 reactors to a barracks or to a factory. And why not have 5 queues on one factory?
I actually think that that is a great plan, and they would just continue to stack up into the sky, and Mutalisks would have to fly around them, and every time you broke one, the totem pole would collapse a little bit, and a power-up would kind of fly out, like in that first level on Banjo-Kazooie.
Well, I think depending on the order in which you kill them, like if you kill the one on the very bottom, or maybe second up from the bottom, the ones on top crush the one on the bottom, so there's a certain art to it, depending on the weight of the remaining reactors.
Yeah, you could have the Banshee every time it kills off one of the reactors and it falls, he goes, Jenga.
And then you just get mad at that guy because he pulled the block on purpose?
What a jerk. Looks like Shawnee Elite is starting to move in with a Banshee from the backside. There's not that much anti-air, and it looks like he is planning some Marine... Oh, some Hellion Marine SCV all in action with a support Banshee in the backside. He has begun the one-on-one with the Queen. It's going to be really close. The Queen is pulling back right now, and he is gearing up for the all-in at the front. The Banshee is pulling up to the attack. This could be huge.
Ouch. And now that is quite a bit of units. There's a lot of spines out there. Fortunately, wow, it looks like those roaches just got a little bit too far. Now, he is dancing around with his units a lot, and it's not looking too good. He does get that additional queen up there, and it looks like the attack has been thwarted. Ouch.
Crabtastic has been under a ton of pressure from game start to game end just due to that one obnoxious eBay placement. And now it looks like Shawnee Elite is backing up to take himself an expansion. Doesn't look like he's building too many Banshees anymore. Does have that one Banshee on the field. The second one is skirting somewhere about the map. But he's pulling back, wants to play a little bit more long-term game. And the question is, how is Shawnee Elite going to transition? That's always the big question.
Yeah, and he ain't tripping about cloak either. He don't need no invisibility.
Looks like the roaches are trying to pick down these destructible rocks.
Those look like free roaches to me. Oh man, and the Banshee just getting a quick. I don't even know.
It's a Gandhi Banshee. He wanted to coexist peacefully with these roaches.
He ran out of bullets. New awesome mechanic.
Yes,
you run out of missiles, you have to go back to your base to reload.
It's like Time Crisis, where it has to fire off the screen to reload his bullets.
Right. He can't find his pedal, so he actually can't get off of the screen.
Man, StarCraft 2 with a pedal. I call that an innovation. More Banshees continue to plant down. The roaches try to move forward, and despite the complete failure of that first all-in attempt, Shawnee Elite does have good map control. There's been no layer tech at all from Crabtastic, so that means with no Hydras, no Speed Roaches, no Mutalisks, there's no way for him to be able to really deal effectively with these Banshees.
And that's going to be very, very hard for Crabtastic to hold this third. And actually, if we can see Shawnee Elite get in here and finish it. Oh! Does not get the cancel off in time either. Ouch! And now we can see those spine crawls are trying to burrow. Oh, but he does get them down very quickly. Now he could actually leave both of those Banshees attacking right now. This is a great position for Shawnee Elite to be in if he stays in there and picks off a few more of those units.
Oh, he could have taken down that Queen, but it looked like he was worried about some sort of Queen reinforcement. Wants to pull back. Is now adding on some extra factories. We see the little rearrangement going on right now. Will begin likely making tanks or Thors. Expansion now up. Where did these two Zerglings come from? Immediately picking off these SCVs, but I think more importantly going to get a big scout off, and he doesn't lift him up. And now his entire base is revealed.
He's seen everything.
He's seen everything that they're doing. Crabtastic trying to retreat. Will manage to do so successfully, but Shawnee Elite's got to be careful with these Banshees.
And still doesn't have close. He can't be too. Oh, wow! He didn't even micro that.
Shawnee Elite. Oh, freaking me out, man. Look at that.
His unit saved itself, man. There was no selection circle around that Banshee.
The Banshee was like, I'm done.
I'm out.
Oh, I'm really worried about this. This is a very, very, very fast Blue Flame Hellion. This is one of those eyes get big play. How cool would it be to run in with Blue Flame Hellions, pick off a Badrillion workers, and then I'd have the lead. But I really think he needs to get that siege mode up. Otherwise, any amount of Ling Roach, especially if he gets some sort of Roach speed upgrade finished, he could just bust down the front door.
And there's just absolutely no stopping it with Hellions. Oh, and we do see Infestors. It's looking like he is just about to finish that upgrade, so that he is able to... Oh, man, Fungal Growth is real. I like Fungal Growth.
Fungal Growth is a good spell.
That cringe.
We see that looks like Shawnee Elite still has his just pretty much arbitrary force of Hellions, Banshees, Marines. Does have a medevac there.
Why not just have a few of everything? I like things that can attack ground especially, so I like coupling Banshees with Hellions. Really, yeah, it's good. It's all right.
Well, I mean, if he transitions into mech, which is what it looks like he's doing, then he can make great use of these Banshees and Hellions. His Marine numbers are increasing because it looks like he's under a little bit of pressure, and I think what we describe Shawnee Elite as doing is a 1-1-1-1-1-1-1, where 1 doesn't refer to the buildings, it refers to different types of units. I'm going to get a Marine and a Marauder and a Hellion and a Banshee and a medevac before I get tanks and probably an armory to get a Thor.
Also with the drop supply depot. You gotta have at least one of them.
Indeed.
Oh, man. And also, Crabtastic is in pretty decent position. Not only does he have a 30 supply lead, he also has his third base. Now, it's not quite up and running just yet. He doesn't have any workers over there, but he does have a queen over there already raising its skirt and injecting straight into that hatchery.
There it is. Looks like the roaches are continuing to be produced. Love this Ling Roach Infestor mix. Very Sheth-esque. Demonstrated its potency, and whoa, mega fast layer coming down for Crabtastic as well. So that does mean he will have those Broodlords or even Ultras in this circumstance would be quite effective against this mixture. Now the armory is done. Very lucky for Shawnee Elite that no Mutalists have popped in there because virtually his entire army shoots down. He is continuing to make those Marines, slowly adding on a couple medevacs, but
and the Thor. He has to finish his 1-1-1-1-1-1 with the final one.
And that's when you take all your SCVs and you go for the attack. He is getting this +1 infantry attack, and I don't know how much I like that, given that there's no stim, no combat shield, but he is continuing to build them up using any way he can to burn through those minerals, because with mech, it ends up being quite difficult to spend all that money properly. Crabtastic continuing to gain hold of all these bases. We even see a Baneling nest plopping down, but I don't really think the Banelings are going to be used too much. It's largely, I bet, going to be about those Broodlords.
Wow, and it looks like that hive, is almost done. Man, that is we're gonna see. Are we gonna see Broodlords? I think so, because that Spire's getting really close to finishing as well. He's doing moderately well with his creep spread as well. And still just massing out that group of units. Has not bothered building an additional command center. He's not worried about expanding. He's going to 2-base it.
That's right. If a 1-base all-in doesn't work, transition smoothly into a 2-base all-in or perhaps another 1-base all-in. But Shawnee Elite is going to be going for that huge mech push. He's getting the +1 attack. He's continuing to add Thors onto this mixture. Love this play to take down these destructible rocks, opening up more opportunities to expand along the top side as far away from Terran as he can. And right now, Zerg's doing the smart thing. No reason to move out. All I'm going to do is wait for that Greater Spire to finish up, and Broodlords can come up. It's going to take a miracle for Shawnee Elite to tie this series up 2-2. So that way, Palantir can send out Tristan again for that 5th ace match.
Ooh. There's still an ace match?
That is true. In the After Hours Gaming League, these teams send out their first 4 players.
Okay.
And if it's still tied after game number 4, then both teams choose 1 player for game number 5, send him out, and put all their eggs into his basket. As it's up to him.
Tristan's got a nice basket. I'd put my eggs in it.
Shawnee Elite now continuing to add on as many workers as he can to get that macro up and going to support all of these unit-producing structures. Is getting very mined out, though. Getting a little bit supply blocked. He needs to hurry up and move out. This is going to be a very dangerous position. I mean, where are those corruptors? I know they're somewhere.
They're not. They're just,
I found them.
There they are.
They're
blending in with the Overlords.
Yeah, my God, those are hard to spot.
Oh, and he is able to get over there. He does find those hidden corruptors.
And there, it looks like he's finally starting to out on the Broodlords. It looks like Shawnee Elite may have lost his window. He's just continuing to upgrade, continuing to macro. Wanted to go for that very early attack. Oh, now he's moving out. He has the Terran Death Ball with a very odd unit composition.
Yes, getting out there with those blue flame Hellions, leading the charge. Oh, we've got a lot of Banelings being built. We also have a couple of those Broodlords finishing up as well. This is a massive army. Oh, dim fungals.
It looks like there's some scans to pick off some of these creep tumors, but there's just so many. And it looks like a small Zergling run by in the main, completely ineffective due to those blue flame Hellions, but you gotta keep in mind, the goal is not to win with a counterattack. The goal is to buy time for these Broodlords to pop up, and then to win with those.
Oh, man. And pulling back all of his units. Oh man, now his units are actually in two different places, and we can see that clearly Crabtastic does know that those units are out there alone. Maybe we're going to see the Zerglings surround. Oh wow.
Oh, great exploitation of that creep. Oh no, it looks like he is going for the 2-base all-in. It looks like in his main he has no more money. No reason to leave those SCVs there to collect minerals, bring them into combat, right-click them. They do have the auto-repair turned on, but this Zergling counterattack I do think is going to be brutal to deal with. Oh no, all the Hellions die
no, he
immediately.
doesn't raise his supply depots. Ouch, and those Lings do get out into the main.
And here comes the final confrontation. The Broodlord count is up to 5, not as high as he'd want, but there is a nice fungal on the front of those units.
Many fungals.
Huge fungals. Oh, the Marines evaporating under the duress of those fungals, and here comes the Banelings ready to roll, and they can't quite get forward. Great job by the siege tanks to pick off most of them. Most of the Marines are completely gone, and it's just Roaches versus Thors. And a good game back in the main. Nothing was mining, and it looks like Epic manages to do the unthinkable and bring themselves to an undefeated 3-0 in the After Hours Gaming League by going 3-1 with Palantir.
And we saw them just coming out swinging this week, doing a great job maintaining that momentum after their huge win over Zynga last week.
So that does mean that Epic has virtually guaranteed themselves in a spot to the playoffs and a few steps closer to that $5,000 first place prize. Epic playing for Doctors Without Borders, gladly giving them a little bit of extra support.
Now, Palantir isn't out of it yet.
That is correct. They are currently 2-1 in their group. They're going to have to battle hard in weeks 4 and 5 to secure one of those top 3 slots. They are playing for the CIA Officers Memorial Fund. And we'll go ahead and say goodbye for now, as we know that next week there will be more AHGL action. I'm Day 9.
And I'm Rob Simpson.
Go to the website that you're looking at right now to follow your favorite team. Cheers!